Hey guys, it's Run for Makeup by Run, and if you want to see my video on tips and tricks for depotting, as well as a feature on the Z palette, stay tuned for more. Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and I made this video because it was very helpful for me, and I love to share what I've learned so that way you guys can benefit, and it might make the process a little bit easier for you. So this is what I'm going to teach you about, is depotting. And when I refer to depotting, it means taking an eyeshadow, like let's say it's in something like this, or if it's in an individual eyeshadow pot. Like let's pretend this was an eyeshadow. Like, depotting is removing the eyeshadow pan and putting it into a magnetic palette or a steel palette like this. So I've done a lot of depotting in my day. I've done a million MAC palettes. So you can pretty much depot anything as long as it's in a solid state with a pan. So here are, like, for example, powders and blushes that I've depotted that I've put into a MAC palette. These are various brands that I just basically, if they didn't have a magnet on them because they're depotted, I just put one on and I stick them on the steel magnetic palette from MAC. You can depot individual eyeshadows. Like I said, these are all from MAC. Okay, and I just kind of put them in here. And like I said, with these kind of palettes, what you're supposed to do is put a magnet on them, so there's a magnet behind the sticker. So you guys know how to do that, I'm sure, for the most part. All you have to do is type in YouTube or Google depotting shadows, and you can even do it with lipsticks. So I'm going to tell you about a recent experience I had with depotting, and I've done a whole bunch of depotting. Like, I probably depotted hundreds of shadows and stuff like that. But I recently saw a video by Goff's makeup artist, and I love him to death. I think he's fabulous. So he had a video on how to depot via an oven method. And I was like, oh my god, what a cool way to really do a lot of depotting at once. So you just put your palettes and your individual eyeshadows in the oven for a couple of minutes, and then it's supposed to pop right out. Well, I did not have an easy experience doing this. I actually ruined a lot of my eyeshadows because I converted his centigrade to Fahrenheit, and it just wasn't hot enough. It didn't do the job. I cracked a lot of eyeshadows. It broke. I had to repress so many eyeshadows. So I just wanted to show you my experience, because this is just my personal experience. Nothing against Goff at all. But I want to show you what works best for me when it comes to depotting. First off, I have a really old video on depotting using the candle method, where you pop out an eyeshadow pan, you hold it above a flame, and then you push up through the melted plastic to get the pan out. And then you put a magnet on the back of the pan, you slap it on a steel palette. Or if it's a steel pan already, you can slap it on a magnetic palette. So that was what I used to do. Then I stopped really doing that because it was just too time consuming, and it was like the metal and the flames. So then I really started using the flat iron method. And I actually think this method is the best, because you can ensure that you get really hot surface, and it's really quick, and like flat irons like this that don't have a curve sit straight on. You can put like 3 at a time, and you can definitely ensure that it's hot and it melts. The oven method did not work for me. So let me talk to you about a couple of tips and tricks along the way. If you want to see a depotting tutorial, I can do that separately, but this is more for like once you've depotted your eyeshadows. So I recently had the opportunity to try out the Z palette from DeVueCosmetics.com, and I will put a link below. I've already reviewed it on my blog, but I wanted to show you these palettes because they're super awesome. So let's say you have any kind of eyeshadow and any kind of blush, that they're various shapes. The good thing about the Z palette is that they fit in here because they're freeform palettes. So here are some Kevyn Aucoin blushes I got. I got these from the makeup show. They were only $5, and you supposedly are supposed to put them in like a plastic case for blushes, but I didn't want to buy them. So these are actually already individually depotted. They come like this, just the pan, and it's a steel pan, and if you get like a Z palette, it sticks right in. So sticks right in, and you can go like this and shake it, and it doesn't come out. So it's perfect for stuff like that. So what do you do though if you have a palette? Let's say you depotted an eyeshadow. I depotted my Wet n Wild shadows that come like in these things, and it's very simple. All you do is you place it regularly, the whole container, on top of your flat iron. So let's say this is your flat iron. You just place it on top the same way you would anywhere else, and you push it through. It's very simple. So it's really convenient because I have so many mini palettes. I just wanted them all in one big palette. So I depotted these and I was like all excited and stuff. So like here's one that I depotted. I tried to do this the oven method and it didn't work, so that's why it's correct. But anyway, so I was like, yay, now I can just stick them in my palette. So I put it on, and then it kind of sticks. Okay, this one kind of sticks, but it falls kind of off really easily because this isn't as strong of a steel as, for example, the Kevin O'Quinn. So like that one, it kind of just, it moves really easily. It's not secure. It will break if you travel. Here's another thing I depotted. These are the e.l.f. eyeshadows that came in the beauty encyclopedias. So I depotted it, and look, it definitely does not stick. See that? And it's from these little beauty books, which are like really cheap, but I actually really like the shadows in them. So that was a problem. Let me back up a step, and if you do depot an eyeshadow, some of them do stick. Like for example, this is an Avita eyeshadow. It came actually in the pan already, and this is kind of like the Kevin O'Quinn, and it sticks really easily. I depotted a NARS eyeshadow. This one is all beat up because it broke in the oven depotting process. I had to, it's just horrible. But anyways, the NARS ones stick really easy too. See? So some of them, like I said, don't. Like the e.l.f. ones, they do not stick good. See, they just kind of fall. So if you do depot them and they're good and ready to go, one of the tricks that I use is I take, this is Goof-Off. It's an ultimate remover for like adhesive, latex paint, anything. And I got these at Home Depot. And I actually use this because my airbrush teacher used to use them for cleaning her airbrush guns, like really hardcore. So you just spray it on the back of the palette, on the back of the pan. Spray, 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 and it gets all of the gunky residue off. Like let's say you don't want to put a label on the back and you want to get it clean. This is pretty much the only thing that will clean it right off. Or maybe you have some leftover like paper, there's something on there, like, or there's bits of foam pieces. Like if you try to depot something like this that's in a foam palette, see, this is like a foam. If you try, sometimes there's residue of foam pieces, it's not an even surface, so I really recommend a Goof-Off, and that gets it right off. Or you could keep it sticky and stick the label right on top, like the sticker with the name of the shadow. Okay, so what do you do if you have a shadow that doesn't stick? Well, in my head I was like, okay, well, if you have a magnetic palette, you need something metal to stick to the magnet. Because you can try doing magnets, but the craft store ones that you buy, like you can kind of cut, those aren't strong enough. And then the ones that are really strong, like the thicker ones, they are too deep, so it doesn't fit in the palette. So for magnetic palettes, you can't do that. If you do have a steel palette, you can definitely put a magnet on, and that will probably work. But for magnetic palettes, like the Z palette, like Make It Forever, there are some palettes that are straight magnets. This is what you need to do. And this is from trial and error. So I tried to get these metal sheets from Michael's, and I thought, oh, that'll be perfect. I'll just stick them on the back of the palette and it'll stick. Well, these didn't work, and you know why? Is because they are aluminum. It says in that corner. So the reason why a lot of these these individual eyeshadows don't stick is because they're recycled aluminum and they don't stick to the magnet. So what you need is some kind of steel, like this. This is a little bit more hardcore. This is actually, it's called tin, but it is steel plated, which is like a lot of these eyeshadows are there. You could tell it's steel plated because it's a little heavier than some of the other ones. So I actually found this by someone on YouTube. Her name is Makeup by Melissa Lynn, I believe. She found these, and they're not at Michael's. These are actually from Hobby Lobby, and they are the K&S Engineering tin sheets. So these are in the model airplane section, and it's $3.17, and you get 2 of these sheets right here, okay? So if I was going to use this and cut it and put on the back of the pan of the eyeshadow, it would definitely stick. And you get 2 for $3, so that's all you probably need. I have 2 packs, so I thought there was only 1 sheet in each. But make sure to get the one that says tin, because they also have ones that say brass, aluminum, and you want the one that says tin because it's steel plated. So $3.17, that's all you need. So now all you have to do is find some kind of adhesive. I actually really like the little scrapbooking dots, adhesive dots from, I got these from Michael's when I unsuccessfully tried to get these metal sheets. But these are very easy to use. You can use them for pretty much any depotting project. And I got the medium size, and you can use hot glue, you can use double stick tape. I just think these are very convenient. They kind of are like the glue that's already on the back of your eyeshadows when you try to depot them. So it's a clear dot, and then you just stick it on. So this is how you do it. So you take your palette, you take your pan. This is one of the e.l.f. shadows. The back is clean because I used my Goof-Off spray, wipe it off with a paper towel. So this is how I like to do it. I get a pair of kitchen scissors, something that's a little bit harder core. These are just regular kitchen scissors. And then I cut off a piece of square of this, and it doesn't even have to be perfect, because as long as you kind of get, what you get it mostly to cover the back, it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is bendable. Just be careful because it is kind of like has sharp edges. So you just cut off like a little piece. Okay, so I cut it off like this. Okay, then what I like to do is take the little dot, and it's double stick, so you just remove one side, then I stick it to one side. Again, these are the medium size. They come in small, medium, large dots. So I put it on here, let's kind of rub it so it sticks, and then I peel off the plastic. So then you have your little dot of glue, and all you have to do now is take it on the back, and like I said, it's not a perfect shape, but this will be good enough. And you literally just stick it on the back. And it's a thin metal sheet, so it's not going to make your eyeshadow pan jut out too much. So that's secure. And then all you have to do is stick it on. And it is secure. Yay, solution! I was way too excited about this. My boyfriend was like, okay. But this just made my life so much easier, because the other ones weren't sticking that much, and then it was like, see all this cracked eyeshadow residue? It was shaking all over the place. I couldn't travel like that. But I did the same with, I actually depotted the Urban Decay Deluxe palette. So I put these little, see on the back I have the little metal sheet, and they stick right onto. So if you try to do like the Urban Decay palettes, they don't really stick well. I did the same with, this is from a Josie Maran palette. Sticks right on. I did the same with, let's see, I did the e.l.f. Josie Maran. I actually also depotted, this is, remember my last tutorial on Sonia Kashuk Neutral Smoky Eye? Well, I love that palette, but I just felt like it was too bulky, because it had this like excessive slide out drawer. So I depotted this one. I depotted them as well, and I stuck the thing on, and now it sticks perfectly. So I'm really excited about it. I don't know if this is exciting to you guys as it is to me, but this makes my life so much easier. And then, they don't shake all over the place. You got the clear drawer. So all I need pretty much is, like, I'm going to order a couple more, and then I'll be good to go. And this works with if you want to depot even, let's say you even want to depot your blushes or your lipsticks or something, and you just need it to stick well onto here. And that's my solution. I will have product pictures and instructions on my blog, links to stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was very helpful to me. Yay for Z palettes. I'm planning on ordering 5 more because I want to carry Z palettes in my kit when I travel. It's kind of sad because I have like 20 MAC palettes and they're just not that good. They're not sturdy. And I bought so many, but I'm going to get 5 for my kit so that way my shadows really are secure and they won't break. And then I'm going to get a couple for me too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to check out makeitbyrenrun.com for the full post with pictures and instructions and all that other good stuff. And until next time, have a great night. Ciao, Bellas.